Welcome back to Car Snubs. This week's car is a 2022 Honda Accord Sport Hybrid. Now, I've already given it a name because I thought of the perfect name right away. This is Ronda the Honda. I named her after Ronda Rousey because, like Ronda Rousey, she could be classy out in her normal setting, maybe at an event, pulling up to a restaurant. It's a good-looking car, but get on her bad side, and she will whoop you up. That's because this secret little Honda may just seem like a nice little family car, but it's got a bad side, and I'm gonna show it to you. Taking a walk around the outside, the first thing you notice is Honda's new design style with these kind of aggressive, darker chrome grills and some pretty sinister looking headlights. I didn't like it at first, but you know what? It's kind of grown on me. I think it looks pretty good. Although I will say on this shaded chrome or whatever it may be, it stains really easy. You see how there's like water spots on it? And I don't know, unless it's really clean, it doesn't look the greatest. But going around, this is the sport trim. So you get some pretty nice 19-inch rims on there. They look pretty aggressive and good on this car, and they fill up the wheel well, really well. From the side, not the greatest looking car. It's almost hatchbacky in the back. I think the back looks a little bit older. This has been around for a while. They did update this in 2018, but you get the blue elements around the logo, which tells you it's a hybrid. But yeah, a little bit sportier than the regular one, but still very subtle. Kind of your ultimate sleeper eco car. Under the hood is a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine with not one, but 2 electric motors to give it a combined 212 horsepower. Now, Honda's hybrid system is a little bit different than others, especially Toyota's, where it mostly relies on the gas engine just to charge the battery. So if you're going from a start, you can get up to a pretty high speed on electric alone. And one thing I noticed on this is a lot of this is open. Most cars you see now are covered in plastic everywhere, and you can actually access the 12-volt battery. I've seen so many cars now hidden, whether it's under the seat, in the trunk. It's just a pain to get to. This looks really easy to work on and a lot of space to access things. Something I noticed immediately getting into this car is not only how low it sits, but how difficult it is to get in. I mean, I'm 6'3", so I'm on the taller side, but I've hit my head and my shoulders multiple times. This, that. Once you're in, it's nice. You got headroom, it feels wide, I got plenty of leg room, but the door sill is really high. I mean, these windows are short, so you're a little bit claustrophobic in here. Oddly enough, where it was difficult to get into the front seat, it is much easier to get in the back seat. Tons of room back here. I mean, this position is where I would sit, so I still have probably 8 or 9 inches. Headroom is good here. I got maybe an inch to spare, but it feels nice and wide. And you get a little armrest with cup holders in the middle. It's a comfortable place to be. Another win for this car is the size of the trunk. Now, I said it has like a hatchy back design. Well, that benefits you having more trunk space because this thing is gigantic. In fact, you know what? It might be even easier to get in the trunk than it is the front seat. Yep, confirmed, easier than the front seat. Let's take a look at the interior. There's pretty nice materials. They are actually decently soft, especially where your arm lays. There's some inlaid kind of fake carbon fiber here. It looks better than wood, so I'll give them that. Obviously your window switches, you got your window locks, which interesting enough, I've noticed on a lot of cars, at least that I've driven, when you lock the windows, the driver can still turn the window down. But look, I'll hit the button. Even the driver can't even do the windows with that on. So you have to have it completely unlocked for it to work. Just an interesting little note. Power mirrors, of course, they are not power folding, so you do have to manually fold them in. And speaking of the mirrors, this car does not come equipped with the blind spot monitoring system, which you would normally see there, which is interesting because there's a lot of good tech on this car. You got a button for the trunk, and the hood, obviously. Down below is really nice. Some nice metal pedals, good spots to rest your feet, and they feel good on your feet. Really comfortable to drive in. Over here, you got your 360 safety system. You can turn that off if you want. Traction control, you can turn off. These things are both naturally on. Trip monitors, which you can control in the screen. In the middle, the gauges look really good. You do have to turn them up on brightness all the way during the day, because if they're just down a little bit, they are difficult to see. We can scroll through some of the menus here, as you can see on the steering wheel buttons. There's a lot of different options through here. You got range and fuel, power flow, so you can see where it's coming from, whether it's electric, gas. You can put it on eco mode. You can see your charge level, which actually it'll give you a glance right here where your electric battery is at. It's about halfway right now. Temperature gauge in the middle. You can see what gear you're in. Obviously, the miles per hour. Up top is the cruise control button. And on the right, you have a traditional speedometer with your fuel gauge. Onto the center stack, if you can see that. It is a pretty nice system. It does have CarPlay. I'm gonna tell you, I couldn't get CarPlay to set up. It was very odd. But you have your Honda Link where you can start, stop your car, lock it, unlock it, do all that kind of stuff. There are system updates available. Sirius radio, Bluetooth, standard SMS messaging. You can get your text messages through here even if you don't set up Android or CarPlay. Like I said, I'm sure CarPlay works. I just couldn't get it to go because I'm dumb with that kind of stuff. But I do like that there's still buttons integrated into this and a traditional volume knob. When Honda started first doing CarPlay and these higher tech screens, they got rid of the volume button and everyone got really mad. So I'm glad they brought it back. In the center, you got your 4-way hazard lights. Your climate control is dual zone. So one side can be one and one can be the other. Nice traditional dials, really easy setup. No need to overcomplicate it by putting it in the screen. So I do like that. Down below, you got some storage if you want, or you can just hide it so you don't see it. Kind of worthless piece of plastic, but hey, is what it is. 12-volt outlet. You have the data transfer USB, and this is the charging USB. So these are two different voltages. If you want to charge your phone, you're going to put it in that one. This one will just kind of keep your phone at the same percentage, maybe 1 or 2% every 30 minutes or so. But if you really want to get a good charge on your phone, you're going to put it into that USB port. Now in the center, I always have coffee, so that's there. And I lost a cup holder because I like to have my phone where it's accessible and I need it for certain work purposes. So a lot of cars now are really good about putting a phone spot just kind of to let it rest. This one did not. So I used one of these cup holder things because I don't want to damage the rental car. But that works for now. You do lose a cup holder. The shifter, I didn't like it at first. I kind of like it now. I'm not a fan of the dial shifters. A lot of people aren't doing the traditional stick shifters anymore. So this one's interesting. You got your park, your reverse, your neutral, your drive. Nothing crazy there. The buttons are kind of intuitively designed to be quick. It's really fast. Drive, reverse, and then your reverse camera pops up. You got neutral and park, of course. So fast. And I did accidentally hit reverse when I meant to hit park, and I was still rolling, and it actually, instead of putting it in reverse and the transmission just clunking out, it put it in neutral for me because it knew I didn't want to do that. So if you do accidentally press a button, it seems like the transmission will put it in neutral, which is good. A couple modes on here, econ mode and sport mode. Sport mode is pretty wild. You can see that the gas engine just turned on when I did that. Means Rhonda is ready to roar. I will show you how she roars in a minute. EV mode, you can turn that on or off. If you just don't even want to do the electric at all, you have that option to turn it off. Pretty standard these days now. Brake hold, which will hold your car even if you put it in drive, and your electronic parking brake. In the center, you got storage. Gotta have fresh breath and soft lips, and another 12-volt outlet in there with some good storage space. And then your glove box is a nice size. Trunk main, I don't know what that is. Should we push it and see what happens? Nothing, but I'm sure it does something and someone will mention it in the comments. The seats are not leather, but honestly, if you looked inside from the outside, it would look like they are. There's probably some vinyl on the side here, which is nice. And this material is cloth, but it's a really nice cloth. I don't know about you, but I hate like the velvety, icky feeling ones. This is a nice material, and it feels like if you stained it, like whatever happened here, it could probably come out pretty easily. This is pretty nice. The car does come with remote start. All you have to do is go to your fob, lock it twice, and hold this circle button. You'll see it blink. And you hear the car run. I'm gonna head up one of my favorite roads so I can show you sport mode. I'm gonna engage it right now. You can see it's on the dash. I got the driver support going. I turn on the auto beam headlights. This is a really dark road, but hopefully we'll cross some cars so you can see how those work. And hear what a raucous beast this thing turns into in sport mode. Here we go. So this thing just turned from docile family electric eco cruiser into fun machine. It's not supposed to be this way. I don't know why, but I love it. Honda, thank you. This is fantastic. And it's not even that fast. If you're looking how fast I'm going, it's not that fast, but it feels so fast. It's a really good time. I'm a little bit concerned that the sound is too good to be true. It's just revving and revving and revving and going and going. And I think it might be this Honda's adaptive sound thing, whatever it's called, ASC or something like that, because it doesn't sound real. And I have a feeling it's being pumped in through the speakers. I can't confirm. I tried to look online, but either way, it's fun as hell. Give you guys an idea what it looks like to get on the on-ramp. Oh, lovely LA traffic. Plenty of power to get you going up to 12 miles an hour. This is Rhonda's natural habitat. I'm on the dreaded 405. This is what this car was meant for. You know, whether you're taking the family out on a road trip, you're just heading into your commute for the day, you need something reliable, something that drives nice, it's smooth, and the driver assistance is not too intrusive. The lane departure system is really nice. I will tell you that the forward collision is really aggressive. I'm going to show you it going off here right now. I have it set on the furthest back setting, and it's still warning me to stop when I'm just fine, at least in my head. Maybe I'm just a really aggressive driver. I don't know. This car is really smart to the point that it can be annoying, but I would 100% recommend this car, in the caveat that you can get in and out. I don't want to downplay how low this car feels like it is. It just feels super low. Maybe because everybody's in an SUV now, you feel like you're at a disadvantage. But if you're tall like me, I get in and out of it 5 times in a row and just see how easy that is. Because I'm gonna warn you, if you're as tall as me and you're hitting your head, you're hitting your shoulder, it's not gonna be fun, and you're gonna grow to not really like the car, I don't think. Once you're in, it's great. Getting in, a little bit of an issue. Other little gripes, the seats are pretty hard. I'm not sure how long they would stand up in an hour plus trip. I think the longest I drove this is about 45 minutes in a row. But I'm in day number 8 now in the car. I think I've put about 400 miles on it. No real complaints as long as you're just hanging out in the city, driving, doing your thing. If you can get this car without a markup, I completely 100% disagree with markups unless you're talking like Corvette Z06, something crazy, and you got the money to blow and you don't care, you just want the car. Do not pay for a markup on a Honda Accord. Please don't. As long as everyone keeps resisting these markups, the markups will go away. 2 years ago, we didn't have this, and now the supply chain is back, and they're still using this excuse of not being able to get cars in. But if you go to the dealers now, the lots are full. They have cars. Don't listen to the hype. You can get a car without markup. I actually just bought one at a nice discount that I'm going to show you guys in the future. Do not play the dealer games. Don't buy a markup. But if you're in the mood for a new car, you want a hybrid, this gets over 35 miles a gallon the way I've been driving it, and I've been driving it so hard. Still gets over 35 miles to the gallon. So if you can find this without a markup, you're in the mood for a nice family car, this is the one to have. Check out the Honda Accord Hybrid. That's it for this week. I hope you guys will follow, like, comment. Maybe you have one. Let me know your experience with it, whether good or bad. Put it down in the comments below. Until then, I'll see you next time.